Morning. Uh, this is me live from the Inc. 5000 conference in San Antonio this week. And what we're going to do today is slightly different. Of course, my camera angles are all off, and I'm a little excited because this is the first, third time that we're here at the Inc. 5000 as a Vero. And I'm extremely proud of my team and thankful for our clients and for all of our families that support us every day. If I seem a little giddy, I am because I just met Deepak Chopra, who is going to be the keynote speaker here in about 15 minutes, and I will try to sneak the audience in there. But what I'm going to do today is instead of focusing on one topic, we're going to go take some questions. I've had a bunch of questions come in when we announced this live, and I'm going to read them and try to answer them the best I can. Um, but again, at the Inc. 5000 conference that celebrates the fastest growing 5,000 privately held American companies every year, and Vero has made the list 3 times in a row, and I could not be more proud of my team um, for supporting me in doing this because this doesn't happen in isolation, does not happen just by myself, and I need everyone around me that can pull in the same direction and make this happen for the entire team. So the questions we got are numerous, and feel free to post comments as you're watching. Well, the first one is um, scalability. How did you manage to scale your business successfully over the years? Um, Trial and error, lots of trial and error, lots of trying different things because we're up against large established competition, companies that have been around for 30, 40 years. And how do you go up against that kind of caliber and in many cases pedigree and talent? You have to be scrappy, you have to be different, you have to be innovative, and you have to know how to present your value to the clients that you're serving. The other thing you have to do is not attempt to do everything. You can do, focus on the things that you're good at, focus on the things that your team is good at, build around those competencies, and then make sure that you're building on that every day. There is no, goal there. You have to improve every day and take inspiration from people. Um, I take a lot of inspiration from people around me, my competition, my colleagues, my clients, uh, my family, even my 5-year old. And you have to do this on a daily basis. From your Kimberly, thanks Eric for joining. A huge influence on what we're trying to do here. So scaling happens when you do the right things at the right time. You can't set out to scale because we're at this point now where we're at the cusp of breaking through. As a consulting firm, you tend to hit some walls, right? You tend to hit some revenue walls, you tend to hit some growth walls, and what got you here doesn't necessarily get you to the next level. So that's what we're attempting to do. And again, how will we get from here to the next level is still unknown. I don't know. I got asked this last night. What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? And the most honest answer I could provide was, I don't know. But with my team, we're figuring this out every day. I have is challenges. Can you describe some of the most significant challenges you faced during this growth phase and how do you overcome them? I think the biggest challenge always to me is marketing. How do you get out there? How do you differentiate yourself from the competition? How do you stand out as a not startup anymore, but as a young growth stage company? We constantly have to um, focus on how do we differentiate, how do we convince our clients that we're the right team to go with. And a lot of times you can't, because if they're looking for 30, 40-year-old brands with pinstripe suits and grayer hair than I have, then you can't convince them. But at the same time, this is an iterative process. You have to be able to convince people and showcase your thought leadership. And as you grow in the business and as you gain more clients and build more credibility, that becomes easier and easier. So marketing and standing out from the crowd has been a challenge. The other challenge is that comes with scaling is how do you manage the people? Uh, People that were there at the beginning with you, are they still the right people to have along the ride? Do you need more management skills? Do you need more expertise from the outside to bring in? Um, that's always a challenge. And of course, COVID threw a big challenge at everybody. Thankfully, we came out really well. I mean, that's showcased in the last 3 years. We've been on the Inc. 5000 list 3 years in a row. So we got out of COVID not just surviving, but thriving through it. Um, Culture and talent. How important has company culture and talent acquisition been to your success? It's huge. What's the saying? Culture eats strategy for breakfast or dinner or lunch. It's very important to have culture and very important to know what the definition of culture is. It's not just going for happy hours or golf outings and bowling every 6 months. Um, I think one definition of culture is how well does the whole team understand and follow processes? How well does the whole team pull in the same direction? Do they have the same dreams for the organization? And it's as a founder, it's important to understand that not everybody will have the same drive and the same um, passion for the business because as a founder, I have the most to gain and the most to lose in this whole endeavor. So of course, I care more about it than anyone else. But how do you distill that down to the lowest level of the organization? And that's been a challenge too, right? I have a vision. My executive team has a vision. I deal with them and interact with them on a daily basis. But how do you distill that to the newest employee that just walked through the door with no experience in consulting? They have expertise and talents in other areas. How do you make the best use of all these talents while driving a better forward? Um, it's a challenge, uh, but it's a daily challenge. And I think as a CEO, it's my main responsibility to make sure that our culture and talent acquisition, not just the acquisition happens, but that we keep people and grow them along with the company. And a key distinction here is growth doesn't always equate to growing up. We're growing fast as a business, but our growing up is lagging behind. And I think any founder or company in this space, in this stage of their growth, will tell you the same thing. Um, how do you continue to innovate and stay ahead of market trends? I think this year has been the year of innovation. I mean, AI and ChatGPT and generative AI has changed the world and will continue to do so going forward. So our challenge has become how do you stay ahead of that? What do you do to pivot or change your offering so that you can bring those innovations to our clients and not just ourselves? Internally, we use AI a lot, and it's helped us become more efficient, more prolific, more proficient with what we do. And it's a great time to be in the consulting business because I wish we had this 20 years ago. We only had the very starting pieces of Google. Revenue streams. Have your revenue streams diversified over the years, or is the growth coming from the core product service? Um, yes and no. We have another company that does managed services, their infrastructure in hardcore IT, but the core business has remained management consulting for governments. And the focus has always been on how do you make governments more efficient through the use of better technology or more efficient business process redesign. So that's grown. We are becoming a well-known entity in the ERP space within local governments, and will continue to be lots of growth in this space because we're focused on it. There's a huge need in the market, and we're continuing to lean in that direction. Next question: what strategies have been most effective for customer retention? Hmm. The best strategy is providing great value. Uh, Nothing beats great value, nothing beats customer service, nothing beats being there for the client, nothing beats picking up the phone and answering their phone call, sending the text back, nothing beats being there when the client is down and out because a software vendor treated them badly or something else happened in your organization. One of our core values is caring deeply for the client, not just for the project, caring deeply for the person that's on the other side of the transaction, is one of our core values, and that's really held us in good stead over the years. And I think if we continue to do that, we'll retain customers. It's as simple and as uh, at the same time complicated as that, because if you have good customer service, if you care about your client, everything else falls in place. Our services are not that different from what our competition offers. Uh, but really, what we've seen in the market is how much our team cares about the project, and the people that are working on these projects is what sets us apart. What are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years? Are there any plans to go public or get acquired? Um, my goal for the next 3 to 5 years is to keep getting better, get more market share, um, spread the word, grow Avero as a brand, and be known as the primary and the preeminent ERP consulting, digital transformation consulting firm for the local government space in the country. We're getting there slowly. Any plans to go public or acquired? No, not at this moment. We are very focused on really growing up as we grow, and that's the focus right now. So, but it's very flattering to have this question, and it's very flattering also to get phone calls from private equity firms and venture capital firms to see if we are in that phase where we need funding for growth or want to be acquired. And I'm not convinced that we're there or ever will be. Maybe this is something that gets passed down to the employees at some point. But again, not there yet. What advice would you give to other CEOs aiming to achieve similar success? Um, be humble. Be humble and chase your dreams, but humility is the number one uh, characteristic that keeps you hungry, because success is fleeting. Money comes and goes. All you need is one disgruntled client to not get business anymore in the industry that we serve, which is a small pond. Um, and and you have to be humble. You have to look for the next thing. You have to take care of your customers and your employees, um, and you have to chase excellence. I mean, it's an easier said than done kind of thing, because there's so much to do on a daily basis. There's so much to do in a given year that as a CEO, you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Uh, but I'm a firm believer in the infinite game, which means that you all you're responsible for doing is doing the right thing in the moment, and keeping the wheels turning. And good things will happen if you're putting your best foot forward at all times. Work-life balance. Now, I've had a video out there where I'm claiming that there is no such thing. I think I still claim that. How do you balance the demands of being a CEO with your personal life? Um, Having boundaries is very important. Um, and when I need to switch off, I have the luxury of doing so because I have a great team. I can go take a nap when I need to. I don't take that um, use that power very often. But how do you balance the demands? It's hard. Uh, it's one life. Work is part of life, and you have to be good at compartmentalization and making sure that you're putting up boundaries, that you're firm about what's the most important thing in your life. And to me, it's my family. So as long as I am um, working on our common shared goals as a family and as a business, I think you can, as a smart entrepreneur, you have to figure out how to strike that balance. Uh, Otherwise, it's not, you're not going to survive in any field. Leadership lessons. What have been your most valuable leadership lessons over these years? So many. I'm thankful for my mentors that have taught me everything about business and leadership. And mentors can be people who you've never met. Again, I just met Deepak Chopra. I took a picture. I'll share it with you once I'm done with these questions. And his books have an impact on me. Um, but most valuable leadership lessons, I would say, pass it down, pass it forward. Leadership doesn't happen in a vacuum. You have to have leadership across the board in your organization, and across the board in your life, not just in business. So pass it down, be a mentor to somebody. Uh, and if you're looking for mentorship, find that mentor that will pour into you. And then it's your responsibility once you've learned something new, once you've created something for yourself to pass it down and teach others. And I take that very seriously. Pivotal moments. Can you share a pivotal moment that significantly impacted your trajectory? There's been several, and I think people taking chances on me when Avera was nothing, when Avera was a day old, and I was pitching people to give me a contract. And me at the time, I didn't have a team. All I had was AV and this LLC had formed. Um, so every chance that I got, every opportunity in those early years were obviously pivotal, but also um, making the right hires at the right time, watching people grow and take on more responsibility has been very satisfying. And I think there have been several pivotal moments like that. Like, project delivery happens without um, me going to a project meeting today. That's important because I need to work on the business, not in it, on a daily basis. Um, the last question is market conditions. How did market conditions affect your strategies, and how do you adapt? Adapt. Um, I think as consultants to government across the country, we have the luxury of having some foresight because government markets don't go down at the same time the general industry does, general economy does. So, and I've seen that since the 2008 crash too. Um, so in COVID, what happened was we were preparing for the worst. Of course, we were only a 4-year-old company at the time, and no one knew what was going on. Clients, a lot of them, stopped work, but there were pivotal other clients. Some big clients kept giving us more work because, as government agencies, a housing authority gave us a large contract, another housing authority gave us a large contract, and those things were pivotal. So before that happened, though, there was a 3-month period where uh, none of us had any work. We would get up in the morning and write content, do podcasts, and just do the right things in preparation for more work to show up. So, keeping your nose to the ground and again doing the right things every day is what really matters. And I'm really excited for the next phase of Avero. I think we have no choice but to grow up as we're growing. And I'm very thankful for all of our clients, very thankful for all of my team, um, and everyone that puts in 100% every day. And couldn't be more proud of my team and the families that support us. So with that, I'm going to see what Dr. Chopra has to say. Oh, before that, I need to share this with you. Um, I'm not kidding. I was joking with my wife yesterday about running backstage to grab a picture with Dr. Chopra. But here he was as I was setting up. He walked by, and being at the right place at the right time uh, has been captured in the picture. So, sending everyone good vibes, and we'll talk soon.